Alright, so here's the deal. A lot of talk going on now. Can't believe people, what they say. I don't know. We'll see. I got these KYX metal transmission gears for the SCX24 transmission. And I'm going to put this thing together because everybody's saying that these are junk. They look lovely to me. I don't see anything wrong with them in the package, but I'm hearing a lot of talk from people who claim, you know, they've been doing this since they were a kid, yada yada. Possibly the pilot holes, the shaft holes for the gears are not true, causing the gears not to run flush with each other. That sounds like to be the biggest thing that I'm hearing. I know the company's talking about spacing, you know, spacing it off of. There's a couple screws behind the spur here. I didn't need anybody to tell me that. I pay attention to shit. You can see them when you take it apart. You don't put something together with gears rubbing on screws. So I mean, I space this thing. When I put this together, it already has a spacer of my own setup on here. But yeah, we got all plastic gears on the inside, so we're gonna put the metal gears on the inside. And I know how people are. I know people are ham-handed. They blow through stuff. They don't pay close attention. I know this all too well. I am not that kind of person. I am detail-oriented. I will take 3 times the amount of time that you say it takes to do a job, because I'm going to do it carefully and I'm going to do it correctly. So we'll see what the deal with this is, whether people are full of shit, whether I just happen to get a good batch, maybe others got a bad batch. I understand that there's a picture out there of one of these gears with a badly crooked drilled hole in it. I don't know, I haven't seen it, but we'll see what happens here. All these gears run true currently. There's no catching, there's no grinding in this transmission. It runs very smoothly. So I'm going to get to disassembling everything and putting it back together. Right, so I got the motor off, and I'm going to go ahead and disassemble the rest of this and reassemble it all on video and speed it up for you. So here goes. And this is my own spacer, because like I said, I pay attention to things. So when I assembled this the first time with the hot racing aluminum gear that is not designed for the Losi, or I mean, it's designed for the Losi, it's not designed for the trail trekker, but it'll work because I make things work. So I made a little brass shim here. It goes on that, and I just shot it across the camera. Suck my alright, it's in the drawer there. So there it is. Little brass spacer from a piece of tubing. And it goes on the shaft there and spaces the gear off of, well, actually it spaces the spacer. And this is also from the Losi trail trekker. Stupid slipper clutch thing, but it came in handy, so whatever. So on with the show. Some loose fitment there. It does not fit like the stock gear fits. See that? Look how snug. Look at that. Look how snug that gear fits. That's not moving. Okay? I'm rubbing it. That's not moving. Take it off. Put this gear on. It's on there. Look at all that slop. Look at all that slop. You can see it. Get it to focus. It's a bunch of slop. So that's not very tight manufacturing tolerances, but onward. There we go. That clearances. See spacer? Alright, my camera battery was low to begin with, so it died on me. But plugged it in for just another minute, so it's back together. Put the drive shaft to it here and show you. That gear spins as true as you could want. As true as you could want it to spin. The hot racing gear has some definite wobble to it, but that's because of the slipper clutch design I used and the little brass spacer I made. I'll fiddle with that a little bit. That does not have anything to do with these KYX gears. I didn't use the Spur because I had a 57 tooth hot racing that I want to use. I didn't even count this one yet. I don't know what it is. I'll count it in a second. But anyway, there's no issue here. This is butter. There's no catching, no snagging. Not at a fast rotation. I mean, it feels good. All it needs is a little bit of grease, which I'll probably pop it back open and grease the guts good, because you should have done that anyway. But you know, I'm not going to say that there's not anything wrong with some of the gear sets that people are getting. There's nothing wrong with mine. What I do know is I know people, and I know that if you want to build these little rigs, you need to be detail oriented. You need to pay attention to stuff, and I'm betting that maybe they might be right, that y'all aren't paying attention to those two little screws that are behind here, and you're putting this gear on with no kind of shim, no kind of spacer back there, and it's dragging on those two screws. I mean, I caught this detail when I originally reassembled this thing with this big block housing and everything. I noticed that. I mean, you should notice those kind of things. Those are small details, but they're important details. Maybe people are getting ones that have poor holes drilled in them, but there's no issue here. That's not to say that there isn't an issue, because I know that these are Chinese parts. Because when I said I first started with eBay to return them, I was going to just return them straight up, and I got to thinking about it, and I was like, listen, I know people, man. So I decided to put it together for y'all on camera and show. There's no kind of snagging whatsoever. The gear runs true. You could see that one part where that was a little bit sloppier. This gear, it didn't fit snug in the hex on that shaft like this one fit, but that's not an issue. It's a total non-issue, really, for me at least. This thing's gonna run just fine. runs like butter right now. So that's that.